Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Selling a little or a lot? Do your thing however you cha-ching with Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/offer23. This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Selling a little or a lot? Do your thing however you cha-ching with Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/offer23.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Who is ready for summer? Yeah, me either. Well, so I thought, until I discovered Dr. Stephen Cabral. Hear me out. Before we head into today's episode, I'm so excited to share some details with you from today's sponsor, Dr. Stephen Cabral, a board-certified doctor of naturopathy and author of The Rain Barrel Effect, whom I've had on the show in the past. He has a really incredible offer for listeners today that will help you hit the whole body reset button and get guaranteed results or your money back. Yes, if you have to ask, I've totally tried it. Here are the benefits of this 21-day detox. It decreases bloating and puffiness. I know I need it. I know we all need it. You lose weight and speed up the metabolism, rebalance your hormones, reset healthy inflammation levels, get clearer skin, enjoy healthy body sugar levels, increased energy, improved sleep, strengthened digestion. Who's ready? If that's you, this detox has been proven to work for tens of thousands of people. As a limited time offer, Dr. Stephen Cabral is providing $100 off a 21-day detox or $20 off a 7-day detox. Head over to stephencabral.com/Veronica to reserve your detox today. Hey girl, imagine a life where you feel supported, connected, and understood. I get it. Being a mom is hard, especially when you're spinning so many plates. We exhaust ourselves trying to create the perfect life for our family. You deserve to enjoy your family without the stress perfectionism brings. On this podcast, I provide practical and relatable life experiences. I teach women quick and easy-to-use strategies to help them reclaim their identity, reignite their marriage, and enjoy their children. If you're ready to be challenged, then pull up a chair, grab pen and paper, because it's about to go down. I'm Veronica Cisneros, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and this is the Empowered and Unapologetic Podcast. Okay, so I just re-listened to this episode and, well, the recording, and I have to say, damn, it is good. Like, really, really good. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm remembering this moment. The episode you're about to listen to is a very private one, and I know you will learn a whole hell of a lot from it. It is me capturing this moment of self-reflection. Not a lot of us do that. I'm working with a lot of my clients right now on self-reflection, and especially couples, and how we blame our partners because we don't have time, when the reality is it's us. It's definitely us. So ladies, I'm going to ask you, are you truly living the life you want to live? And I want you to sit down for a second. Don't be quick to answer, because I'm sure you have the dog, the cats, the kids, the house, the husband. But I want you to sit and marinate on this question for a quick minute. Are you living the life you want to live? Or is it controlled by how you want others to perceive you? Damn. Ladies, grab a pen and paper, because you are definitely going to want to take notes. There's so much good information. Also grab some tissue, because you are definitely going to have a whole hell of a lot of aha moments. I'm happy to share this personal episode with you.
This weekend has taught me so much. So much. Right now I'm here at Santa Monica Pier and watching the dolphins swim. And I've been listening to this book, Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Effective People, and what I'm starting to realize is I'm not living my life at all. I am definitely a slave to my life. I'm overwhelmed all the time. I'm overwhelmed being myself. I'm overwhelmed being a mom, overwhelmed being a wife. But all that is, like, all of those things I did to myself. And as I'm here walking, or went for a walk, and I found myself with so many expectations I should record right now. These are things that I should record so I can teach other people. These are habits that other people should do. And it was like, stop. These are the habits you need to do for yourself. Like, it's so important. You do this for you. Stop worrying about other people. Stop taking care of other people. So I walked. And I enjoyed the walk. Took out the expectations. I wish it was that easy where I just took out the expectations. That'd be a complete lie. What I did was I just started noticing all of the expectations that I placed on myself, all of the things that I needed to do, all of the things that I was expected to do. And I immediately just recentered myself, and it was like, no, come back, stay here, take out the expectations. And then, of course, I seen a couple with a little baby. It looked like it was the baby's first time here at the beach. And the mom was videotaping the father. And I immediately placed judgment, because it was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Give that phone to your husband so he could record you. And then I started to think about my life and how, like, I recorded everything of the kids, everything of Willie, but what part did I exist in it? Not much. And it was because I was too afraid to give him the phone, too afraid that he wouldn't videotape or capture, or I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't being the right mom. Again, I wasn't doing it right. So there, again, I'm led by expectations. So I walked to a certain point, and it was like, okay, well, I have to go back because I have to check out of my hotel. So I was like, okay, do I want to walk back, or do I want to run back? It's like, you know what? I'm going to run back. And as I was running, I was like, okay, I'm going to run to this point. I'm going to run to this point. And it's like, holy shit, Veronica, you're still on the expectations. Let go of the damn expectations. And then I just looked off into the ocean and just paid attention to, like, how beautiful it is, and how here I am right now getting to experience this. I am allowing myself, I am giving myself permission to experience this. I could have checked out of the hotel. I could have immediately packed and went home to spend time with my family. And I didn't. I didn't ask for permission. Instead, I gave myself permission to do this. And so because I gave myself permission to do this, I wasn't going to hold back at all. I was going to enjoy it as much as possible. So I'm running, and then I see all of these seagulls literally like nose diving into the water. No hesitation. Don't give a shit about expectation. Just going for it to go and get their food. And these seagulls nonstop nosediving, giving it their all, like literally face planting into the ocean. And it was like, damn, none of them are fearful of judgment. None of them are fearful of second guessing themselves or what if I miss it? They just go for it. They literally just go for it. And it's like, I can learn so much from these seagulls. What I can learn is stop with the expectations. Cut that shit out. What do you really want to do? Are you living the life you want to live? No. My life is driven by a calendar, by second guessing, lack of confidence, by insecurities, by thinking that I need to prove to the world that I'm something I'm not. So if I let go of that and I just go for it, face planted all the way in, just go for it, what would it look like? Well, what it looked like was I ended up getting way farther than the goal that I wanted to reach. As I was saying, as I was running, I kept on going up to like, okay, at this lifeguard tower, I'm going to stop. At this lifeguard tower, I'm going to stop. I'm starting to get tired. But when I just really started enjoying and being here, present, and taking it all in, just looking at the ocean, looking at my life, participating in my life, I ended up going way farther than I had anticipated because I took out the freaking expectations, because I stopped caring about what other people think, because I just went for it. And that's really what I need to do in life.
What is up with my body? How did I gain 20 pounds and it feels like it's impossible to lose? There's no way I can try another dieting fad. Like, absolutely not. Ladies, are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Are you tired of trying fad diets and juice cleanses only to be disappointed by the outcome? The only way to finally lose weight and get well is by removing the underlying root cause holding you back. Your liver filters all of the blood in your body every 6 minutes. But with the influx of toxins in our environment, our livers cannot keep up and our bodies have no choice but to store these toxins away in our fat cells, organs, and even our brain, so they are not floating around in our bloodstream. Over time, this toxic buildup begins to cause symptoms of poor health and eventually can lead to all types of diseases in the body. The Dr. Cabral Detox is a comprehensive, full-body, functional medicine detoxification system that gently removes harmful toxins while rebalancing the body at an underlying root cause level. If you are ready to take it to the next level, ladies, what I want you to do is I want you to go to StephenCabral.com/Veronica. Again, that's StephenCabral.com/Veronica, so that you can either get $100 off for your 21-day detox or $20 off for your 7-day detox.
Reading this book, Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Effective People, and it asks you to look at your week and go ahead and plan for your week. Take 30 minutes to plan for your week. Identify the roles you play, and then identify how you can be effective in all of those roles. So I started writing down all of the roles that I play. The first one that I wrote down, and I'm really proud of myself for writing it down, but the first one I wrote down was being a woman. That's a big role that I play for myself, and it's an important role. The second role was a mom. The third role, sorry, Willie, I love you, but the third role was a wife. The fourth role was a business owner with outside the norm counseling. Wait a minute, how many roles is that? Myself, mom, Willie, outside the norm. The fifth role was my fifth role, which is being the owner of Empowered and Unapologetic on social media, on Reels, on the educational classes I have on Peanut. And then the last role is who I am as a podcaster. So I was looking at all of these roles and I was like, holy shit, that's a whole hell of a lot for one person. And I place expectations on myself to do so much. And I was looking at all of those roles, and it's like, no wonder I'm exhausted. And I started listing, how can I be effective in the role as a woman? And I started writing things down. I need to be more intentional. I need to be more present. I need to stop second guessing myself. Yes, fear is going to be there. Insecurities are going to be there. But be more mindful and aware of them versus brushing them aside and assigning myself another task. How am I taking care of my body? Not to lose weight necessarily, but literally, how am I taking care of my body? I'm not. I'm in the field where I teach people how to live their life unapologetically. I provide people with skills on how to truly be intentional. Why the hell aren't you doing it? And then why am I so afraid to freaking admit that? Like, it's fine. It's absolutely fine that I don't have it all together. I know that. I say it in therapy with my clients. Why can't I say it out loud to myself? Why is there automatically shame and guilt met with that statement? And then I think about, like, okay, what were the expectations of me as a kid? I just recorded an episode with my mom, and I learned so much from that episode. I personalized my mom's struggles. I personalized my mom's pain. Of course I was a kid, so how the hell would I know any better? But I literally personalized it. And I thought that her overwhelmment, her feelings of frustration was because I wasn't enough. And now I look at my life right now. It's so beautiful right now. I wish you guys were here. It's like literally birds, like just flying over me. Don't get me wrong. A part of me is afraid that they might shit on me. But the other part is like, oh my God, they're literally circling me. This is so amazing. This is a sign. This is a sign. But I just started thinking, again, going back to that role of a woman. And it's like, my role of a woman is to go ahead and identify who I am. For me to go ahead and come up with that. For me to go ahead and pursue it. For me to stop asking for permission. So I started looking at how am I paying attention to my life, and I'm not. I'm paying attention to other people's lives so I can fix it, so I can help them, so I can guide them. But how am I guiding and practicing the things that I teach? And it just started to get me thinking into the next role as a mom and like things that I can do better. And like how my role as a mom is so, so important to me. There are times where I think I'm failing and I second guess myself. Or I start to think about like all of the things that I'm doing wrong. And I start to think about like things that maybe my kids have said and how like that impacts me. And more so like, how is that a reflection of my identity? Like, here you go, Veronica, this is why you're a fuck up. This is why. Look, your kids are frustrated. Your kids are overwhelmed. Your kids aren't opening up. Like all of those things versus hold the fuck up, Veronica. You're an amazing mom. Your kids aren't opening up because they're frustrated and they're processing things. And you're an amazing mom because you've taught them how to process those things. So I think about like, okay, how can I be more effective as a mom? When I get home, turn off my phone. When I get home, play with my kids. When I get home, be curious, ask them questions, get to know them, get to know who they want to be versus who you want them to be. And really, really pay attention to it. Yes, fear is going to be a part of it, but be mindful of that fear and allow them to teach you. And then I thought of my role as a wife, and damn, I'm so freaking blessed. I'm so blessed because I have an absolutely amazing husband. I'm so blessed because my husband truly loves and adores me. I am so blessed because he absolutely accepts me. And I think about like how I push him away and how I distract myself so that I'm not receptive of his love, his unconditional love. And I think about like, why do I do that? And it goes back to the expectations. It goes back to because I don't feel like I'm deserving of it. It goes back to I'm not enough and I need to keep trying. And so I push him away. It's not intentional. It happens. And I'm aware of this. And I want to grow from it. And I am going to grow from it. The biggest part is that I'm able to identify it. And I know that this issue is going to come up again. I'm aware of it. But I will be better prepared. My role at Outside the Norm Counseling as a business owner. How can I be more effective in that role? Well, I can start being the role model for my clinicians. I can start being intentional as a clinician. Don't get me wrong. When I'm sitting with my clients, get your ass ready because we're about to do some work. I'm not referring to that as a clinician. What I'm referring to is as a business owner, as their leader, how can I be more effective? I can live my life. I can get myself to live my life and teach them that although helping people is absolutely amazing and it is truly a gift and it's such a blessing, but it starts with you. Goes back to that same statement I say all the time, that quote. It starts with you. And maybe that's my mission statement. It starts with you. Holy shit. Sorry, I just had an epiphany. Squirrel moment. That is my mission statement. It starts with you. Stephen Covey asks you to come up with a mission statement when you're reading his book. And I found my personal mission statement. But that's what it is. It starts with you. It starts with you. And so I get to be that role model. I get to be that leader. Not the leader, manager, like I need to go ahead and set expectations on my employees. Not at all, or my team. I get to go ahead and model what self-care looks like so that when you show up in session, you are the best version of yourself and you could model that for your clients and you could show them that it's possible. My role as empowered and unapologetic. How can I be more effective in that role? When I started writing down, it was initially time management. And then it was like, okay, stop. It's not necessarily time management. There's more. How can you be more effective in that role as empowered and unapologetic owner? And then I thought to myself, I can be more effective if I was more authentic and more vulnerable as I am right now. If the lessons that I taught were way at farther depth and I stopped holding back. If the lessons that I taught were not necessarily focused on, okay, it's time, go ahead and start just talking. Instead, I really, really thought about what do I want them to learn? What do I really want them to learn? Which then led me to my role as a podcaster. I want to focus primarily on what I want to teach you. What are the questions you've asked me? And that's where I've transitioned lately is, what are the questions you've asked me? And how could I provide you with the best answer on this platform so that even if you're not here with me in therapy, I'm still teaching you. I'm still being effective. This weekend has taught me so much about myself. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I listened. I'm so thankful that I stopped. I shut down that inner voice that there was an expectation that I had to meet. And instead, nose first, dove into the ocean just like these seagulls and went after exactly what I want. To live empowered and unapologetic. So ladies, I finish off with, it starts with you.
Okay, ladies, that's a wrap. However, it wouldn't be a true self-reflection episode if I did not give you homework. So remember that pen and paper I asked you to grab initially? Well, here we go. We're about to use it if you haven't done so already. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and set a timer. And I want you to set a timer for 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes. You can do this for yourself. I'm giving you permission even though you don't need my permission. Give yourself permission to do this. But if you need mine, fine. Okay, here you go. You have permission. Set the timer for 30 minutes. We're going to do some weekly planning. Here's some questions to ask yourself while you're doing the weekly planning. And this is something, like I said, I learned from Stephen Covey. I want you to write down all of the roles you are currently playing. Your role as a mom, your role as a wife, as a sister, as a friend, as a colleague, as a student? And then after you've listed all of the roles you play, I want you to think about how can you be most effective in each role? What is the important thing I can do in this role this week? Let me give you some examples. The first one that came to mind for me was my role as a woman. And I'm going to share with you what I wrote. I can be more effective in this role by taking more time for myself, working out, reading, learning more about what I want to do or things I need to do to accomplish my goals. I need to wake up early in the morning and take time for myself. I need to be asleep by 10. I need to take better care of my body by being mindful of the things that I eat or the people I allow in my life. To be more effective, I have to stop treating everything as an emergency and actually plan out my week and follow it without any exceptions, without compromising myself or putting other people's needs ahead of my own. I need to stop checking emails. I need to stop looking at social media. I need to start saying no. I especially need to stop checking social media. Yes, I said that twice, for validation. Instead, focus on you and how you feel about yourself. Make it a habit to stick to your plan of living your best life. The important thing I can do in this role this week, believe in yourself. The next role I identified was as a mom. I need to be more curious. I need to be more aware. To be effective in this role, I need to stay off my phone and take calls that can be done the following day. I need to sit more with my kids and ask them questions, follow up on the things that needs to get done. I need to pay attention to when I put too many expectations on myself. I need to deposit more into their love bank. I need to be present. I need to enjoy their laughter. I need to enjoy the fact that I can still carry Brooklyn because pretty soon her feet are going to be dragging on the floor. I need to pay attention to the fact that I can no longer carry Aubrey because she's about to be a little bit taller than me pretty soon. I definitely need to be more mindful and aware because now Aaliyah is an adult. And then although I fight so desperately with myself because I feel like I still have control over her. Because in some levels, there's still some immaturity. The truth of the matter is, she is a young woman that's living on her own. And I need to respect that. I need to respect the boundaries. I need to let go of the control. The most important thing I can do in this role of a mom this week is put my phone down and spend quality time with my kids. Ask questions and play with them. Truly be intentional. As a wife, to be more effective in this role, I need to love myself more. I need to make dates a priority and stop personalizing what Willie says if he is in a bad mood. I need to be mindful of when I flood, especially if the kids are around. I need to stop intentionally pulling away from him as if I didn't deserve his love. Put the phone down and love your husband. Actually go on dates versus make excuses or say you're too tired. Actually have sex with the man because you know goddamn well you enjoy it. The most important thing I can do in the role of a wife, set time away for date night where I am fully intentional with my husband, no phones or distractions. As a business owner for outside the norm counseling, to be more effective as a business owner, I need to stop making excuses that I don't have time and brush things off. I need to be more intentional in the role model of the practice, as being the role model of the practice. I need to make sure that I check my damn emails, meet with staff weekly to prepare us. Let them know what's expected versus assuming they already know. I need to ask more questions, take more time to figure things out. I need to read more. I need to follow up. Also, I need to stop pretending that this business is not a big deal because I don't allow myself to acknowledge my successes. Outside the norm, counseling has been extremely successful, next level successful. And I haven't taken time to truly sit in this accomplishment. It has been such a huge accomplishment. There are so many people that believe in me to help guide them, to help take them to the next level of their life, to inspire them. And I know I am great at it. I know I am great at it. But one thing I have failed to do is allow myself to sit in this level of success and truly own it. Unapologetically, of course. The most important thing I can do in this role this week is to sit down in the office when it's completely empty and acknowledge that this little Mexican girl who had very little guidance with regards to opening up a business, she did it. She did it. My little 10-year-old self would be so freaking proud because this was something she had always dreamed of, but did not think that she would ever be able to accomplish. Lastly, my role as a second business owner for Empowered and Unapologetic, being able to go back and read all of the comments from all of the women who have thanked me for changing their lives, who have shared with me their struggles, and who have showed a great deal of appreciation for all of the skills that I've taught them. Looking at the pictures of marriages that are now healed, reading comments from both husband and wife on how the courses, the workshops, the guides, and even my lives have truly helped them. I don't really sit back and look at all of my accomplishments, and that's something I'm personally guilty of. As a podcaster, I can be more effective in this role by doing the same thing. There's over 100 reviews, and it is very important that I sit down and I read them, not so I can boast to people and brag, but for me, so I can celebrate that. People are learning, people are growing, and damn it, Veronica, you have been a big part of it. You've been a big part of it. So ladies, I want you to do exactly what I just did. I want you to identify all of the roles you play, and I want you to think about how you can be more effective. You don't have to share this with anybody. However, if you want to, definitely share this with me. Obviously, I will keep this private. But this has been such a huge revelation for me, and I know it will be for you as well. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on all social media. My tag name is Empowered and Unapologetic. Ladies, I'm looking forward to hearing what you discover from this beautiful exercise. Bye for now. Many women lose their own identity in the shadow of being a mom and a wife. We are a community of women who support each other. We leave perfectionism behind to become empowered and unapologetic. I want to personally invite you to join our Girl Gang. It's a free Facebook community for women just like you. Go to www.facebook.com/groups/empowered and unapologetic. See you there. What's up, ladies? Just want to let you guys know that your ratings and reviews for this podcast are greatly appreciated. If you love this podcast, please go to iTunes right now, write a review, rate the episode, and subscribe. don't forget to share it with your friends.
I know we've been taught that motherhood requires alcohol. I know we've been taught not to question our relationship with alcohol until we've lost everything. And I know we've been taught that if we do dare to examine our relationship with alcohol, we need to head straight to AA and declare ourselves an alcoholic who is powerless to alcohol forever. But what if all that isn't true? That's definitely not my story. I'm Suzanne, the host of the Sober Mom Life podcast. I'm an influencer who stopped drinking in January 2020, and since then, I've been telling the truth about motherhood, influencing, alcohol, and sobriety. If you suspect deep down that glass or 3 of wine at night might just be making motherhood harder, well, you're right. Come and join me as I chat with other sober and sober-curious moms. Let's laugh, cry, and normalize sobriety together, all while we reheat our coffee for the 4th time today.
Hey there, this is Casey McGuire Davidson, host of the Hello Someday podcast. I'm an ex-red wine girl turned life coach who helps busy women change their relationship with alcohol. I spent 20 years climbing the corporate ladder while drinking a bottle of wine a night to unwind. In the Hello Someday podcast, my goal is to teach you the tried and true secrets of creating and living a life you don't want to escape from. Each week, I'll bring you tools, lessons, and conversations to help you drink less and live more. I'll teach you how to navigate our drinking-obsessed culture without a buzz and how to turn the decision to stop drinking from your worst-case scenario to the best decision of your life. You can find new episodes of the Hello Someday podcast every Thursday, wherever you listen, and I hope you check it out.
Addiction impacts all of us. Addiction's consequences run through all of us. From ourselves to our loved ones and through our communities, addiction creates so much loss and grief. My name is Dwayne Osterlin, and I'm the host of the Addicted Mind podcast, a show featuring personal stories, expert guests, and vital information about addiction and addiction recovery. We'll talk with leading treatment providers to discuss the latest research and treatment options for this devastating disease and advocate for mental health awareness. We discuss topics like the importance of creating a community of support to helping loved ones to some of the latest research on psychedelic medicines. The Addicted Mind podcast has been about creating hope, listening to stories of many amazing people that have overcome addiction and are thriving. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, subscribe to the Addicted Mind podcast wherever you get your podcasts or check out theaddictedmind.com. New episodes every Monday. See you there.
I know we've been taught that motherhood requires alcohol. I know we've been taught not to question our relationship with alcohol until we've lost everything. And I know we've been taught that if we do dare to examine our relationship with alcohol, we need to head straight to AA and declare ourselves an alcoholic who is powerless to alcohol forever. But what if all that isn't true? That's definitely not my story. I'm Suzanne, the host of the Sober Mom Life podcast. I'm an influencer who stopped drinking in January 2020, and since then, I've been telling the truth about motherhood, influencing, alcohol, and sobriety. If you suspect deep down that glass or 3 of wine at night might just be making motherhood harder, well, you're right. Come and join me as I chat with other sober and sober-curious moms. Let's laugh, cry, and normalize sobriety together, all while we reheat our coffee for the 4th time today.
It's easy to blame ourselves for our struggles with alcohol. We see people around us being able to control their drinking without any consequences, yet no matter what we try, we can't seem to figure it out for ourselves. My name is Jillian Teets, and I am the host of the Sober Powered podcast, where I use my biochemistry background to explain the latest research in addiction and help you understand both why you drink the way you do and how to develop the skills and mindset you need to find freedom from alcohol. I discuss topics like why we think about our drinking 24/7, why we have no off switch, and why we crave alcohol. If you're struggling with your drinking or you know someone who is, then I hope that you will check out the Sober Powered podcast. New episodes every Friday. See you there.
Addiction impacts all of us. Addiction's consequences run through all of us. From ourselves to our loved ones and through our communities, addiction creates so much loss and grief. My name is Dwayne Osterlin, and I'm the host of the Addicted Mind podcast, a show featuring personal stories, expert guests, and vital information about addiction and addiction recovery. We'll talk with leading treatment providers to discuss the latest research and treatment options for this devastating disease and advocate for mental health awareness. We discuss topics like the importance of creating a community of support, to helping loved ones, to some of the latest research on psychedelic medicines. The Addicted Mind podcast has been about creating hope, listening to stories of many amazing people that have overcome addiction and are thriving. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, subscribe to the Addicted Mind podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or check out theaddictedmind.com. New episodes every Monday. See you there.
It's easy to blame ourselves for our struggles with alcohol. We see people around us being able to control their drinking without any consequences, yet no matter what we try, we can't seem to figure it out for ourselves. My name is Jillian Teets, and I am the host of the Sober Powered podcast, where I use my biochemistry background to explain the latest research in addiction and help you understand both why you drink the way you do and how to develop the skills and mindset you need to find freedom from alcohol. I discuss topics like why we think about our drinking 24/7, why we have no off switch, and why we crave alcohol. If you're struggling with your drinking or you know someone who is, then I hope that you will check out the Sober Powered podcast. New episodes every Friday. See you there.